In the late 13th century, King Philip IV of France had a major problem. He was fighting a very expensive war, and his royal bank account was completely empty. But as he looked around his kingdom, he noticed one group of people who were doing just fine: the Catholic Church. The church was loaded with untaxed wealth. Now, taxing the clergy was the ultimate medieval taboo. It was a guaranteed way to go to hell. But Philip ran his kingdom less like a pious monarch and more like a mafia boss. He decided the church was going to pay protection money. Philip may have been the unstoppable force of a new hungry monarchy, but he was about to hit the world's most immovable object. Pope Boniface VIII, a fiercely proud man with an ego so massive, it required a comically large hat just to contain it. Insulted by Philip's shakedown, Boniface fired off a papal bull called Unam Sanctam. It was essentially an angry cease-and-desist letter, reminding the king that the Pope was the supreme ruler of all human beings. Philip did not take this well. Instead of backing down, he went on the offensive, launching a massive 14th century smear campaign. He told the entire continent that the Pope was a heretic, a fraud, and probably took advice from demons. By 1303, the PR war was getting exhausting, so Pope Boniface retreated to his summer vacation home in Anagni, Italy, to relax and draft a document that would excommunicate the French king. But Philip didn't just argue. He sent his chief minister, Guillaume de Nogare, and a squad of hired mercenaries to Italy to force the Pope to resign permanently. Boniface was enjoying his vacation when the French mercenaries literally kicked the door down. According to legend, the French minister stepped up and slapped the 73-year-old Pope across the face with an iron gauntlet. Now, whether that legendary iron slap actually happened or not, the reality was still brutal. The psychological shock of the humiliation was so severe that Boniface died just a few weeks later. The unstoppable force had finally plowed through and the immovable object had broken. With Boniface dead, Philip realized that fighting the Pope was an expensive headache. It would be much cheaper to just buy his own. The cardinals gathered to elect a new Pope, but the atmosphere was tense. They were terrified of the French king and his mercenaries. Philip wanted a French Pope who knew who was boss. The terrified cardinals got the message and quickly elected Pope Clement V. Sickly, nervous, and completely in Philip's pocket, the Catholic Church had officially been hijacked. As the new Pope, Clement V was supposed to pack his bags and move to the traditional headquarters of the Catholic Church, Rome. But there was a problem. Rome in 1305 was a violent, malaria-infested war zone. Clement took one look at his new office and decided his commute was too dangerous. Sensing an opportunity, King Philip offered a simple solution: just work from home. In France, Clement happily agreed. In 1309, he packed up the Catholic Church and moved to the city of Avignon. Technically, it was independent territory. Realistically, the Pope was now living in King Philip's backyard. Welcome to the Avignon Papacy. For the next 67 years, the headquarters of the Catholic Church stayed right here in France. It was known as the Babylonian captivity. Because they were cut off from their traditional lands in Italy, the Avignon popes became obsessed with revenue. They turned the church into a hyper-efficient, incredibly wealthy corporate bureaucracy. The rest of Europe watched in disgust as the papacy was reduced to King Philip's personal puppet. He had done the impossible. He fought the highest authority on earth, won, and successfully kidnapped the Catholic Church. What could possibly go wrong?